Is he stupid? Okay, so look, if you believe that the universe was created, that means it's contingent. If it's contingent, that means that there's a being in which it depends upon. That being is called God. You saying I failed to track, then not labeling what I failed to track is not rhetorical for you. That does nothing for you, retard. Just say that there was nothing that I failed to track, and you just want to say that to get some type of upscale on the point, which you didn't, retard. So the argument is if the universe is contingent and there's something it depends on, that thing it depends on is God. If the universe isn't contingent, that means that it doesn't go through with my criteria of what God is, because God is the creator of all contingent things. So obviously, if the universe isn't contingent, then it wouldn't be within that criteria of being a contingent thing, obviously, analytically.
Okay, so maybe you can get that in terms of premise. I'm just gonna assume you're trying to say um, the universe is contingent. Contingent things require something necessary. Therefore, something necessary. Just what is the argument that the universe in its entirety is contingent?
Kazuki,
What, Infinity?
am I heard? Am I lagging?
You're good right now, but then your echo.
Then how did he fail to track a very simple argument? I never said the universe was contingent. I gave a conditional. If the universe is contingent, then it falls under my criteria of God. I said God is the creator of all contingent things. If you don't believe that the universe is contingent, he wouldn't fit under that totality of all contingent things. If you believe that the universe is contingent, then he would fit under the category of all contingent things, obviously, because it's contingent. Therefore, God created the universe, retard.
Sure.
This guy is like putting on fucking display for everyone here who has no fucking clue what he's talking about. We're talking about whether or not God exists, not whether or not God possibly exists. Yeah, if the universe was contingent, then there would be a God. That's fucking true. Now, you're not trying to say that possibly God exists, dumb fuck. You're trying to prove to me that God exists, which means you have to affirm that the universe is contingent, dumb fuck, which is why I asked you for the argument. So, what is the argument? Because you're trying to argue God actually exists. I don't know if you know what you're fucking arguing for. Give me the argument that the universe is contingent.
Infinity?
Are you retarded to give justification for God, which I define as a necessary being who created all contingent things? I don't have to justify that the universe is contingent. And I'm not just talking about possibility, retard. I can justify that any object within a possible world is contingent and God would exist, retard, which we do observe that objects are contingent within the universe. Objects are contingent within these possible worlds, therefore God would exist. It doesn't have to be in the universe, which is specifically contingent, but it can be other entities or objects, which is contingent. We understand that everything within reality is contingent because it's dependent upon its essential property. Go ahead.
Conveniently, we fucking skimmed past like the metaphysics at the end, talking about essential characteristics and how that relates to the debate. I'm sure we can fucking unpack the metaphysical mumbo jumbo that Infinity is going to explain to us. But here's the point: you're trying to argue that God actually exists, that there exists this necessary being which the entire universe is contingent on. Now, the first thing I'm trying to ask you to establish is to show me that the universe is entirely contingent. That's one of your burdens. Another burden that you're going to have that I'm going to press you on. I was fucking explain this to you because you might need time to think about this beforehand. Is I'm going to ask you why contingency requires that you need some reduction into a brute factor. Why we can't have one brute contingencies or two a continual infinite set of contingencies. But I'll firstly ask you this point because it's also part of your evidential burden. Give me the argument for why the universe is in its entirety contingent. Because the argument you gave to me was that the universe is contingent and there's something outside of the universe which it's contingent on. So what's the argument that the universe is contingent?
The argument you gave to me anyways. So I just already gave an argument, the justification as to why everything is contingent because analytically it relies on this essential property to exist. Secondly, I never said my argument as to why the universe was contingent is because something that exists outside the universe possibly is contingent, or something that exists outside the universe is contingent, retard. That was not correlated to the argument that I gave at all. The argument that I gave was the following, and I'll repeat it once again. Everything is contingent because it's relying on this essential property. And secondly, I don't believe proof contingencies exist. Those are analytically contradictory. Another thing is, all I'm talking about by contingency is something that can be reduced down to some type of explanatory power. It has explanatory power. If you're talking about another contingency, that's completely fine. But I'm the one that posited God creating all contingencies. So I'm just saying God is the explanation for everything that has an explanation, retard, everything that is created. So if there's other explanations or contingencies that exist in a different way, then that's completely fine. But they don't fit under my criteria. Obviously, I already proposed my criteria and it's clarified for retards like you so you can understand and properly contend it. Go ahead.
Jesus Christ. Okay. So the irony again is stuttering after after you fucking accuse me of stuttering. Don't try to fucking psychoanalyze, do this, post hoc shit. It's obvious you're stuttering. You're not as fast paced as I am. That's fine. Your fucking strategy in this debate is to get your shotgun and fucking pull it, spread a bunch of rhetoric points that are actually really, really fucking retarded. I wrote down some of the retarded shit you said. Let's go one by one. Okay. Firstly, you said the justification that the universe in its entirety is contingent is analytic. And you said it's analytic because it, quote, relies on its essential property to exist. Number one, we can unpack the fucking metaphysical mumbo jumbo. That's literally fucking meaningless to anyone who is philosophically competent. Number two, you said a brute contingency is also analytically contradictory. Again, where's the fucking analysis, dumb fuck? You don't know what these terms mean. Again, where's the fucking argument for that? You just assert a bunch of retarded shit and give no evidence for it. And then the last thing you said is you're talking about contingency being explanatory power. Yeah, I'm willing to grant that contingency is like some kind of causal explanation. That's fine. So don't fucking dodge, okay? I want you to give me an analysis, right? I want you to tell me how it's analytically the case that the universe is contingent. Please fucking give me how that's analytically the case.
Yup, it's very simple. Everything which exists has an essential property. It cannot exist without the essential property. Therefore, the existence of said object is reliant on the essential property. That's analytical justification for the universe being contingent. Another thing is, like I said, just to be clear, if you posit brute contingencies to be some unknown concept, then I want you to go ahead and define what a brute contingency is, obviously. If you're just saying it's just an existent with no explanation, like I said, that's completely fine. That doesn't sit or fit under my criteria. I already gave my criteria. God is the creator of all contingent existences. If it doesn't follow that there is something, or if it does follow that there is something within reality that doesn't have an explanation towards existence, meaning it isn't contingent, then obviously it will not fit under the criteria of being a contingent existence. That's completely fine. We're talking about God creating things in which are contingent. He created all things which are contingent. So if something isn't contingent, yay, it does not fit under God. When you talk about a brute contingency, I don't really know what that means here. I think that claim or that statement is meaningless. What does that phrase mean here?
It's like fucking blatantly obvious to everyone who's not a retard and everyone who has an IQ above 5 that you're getting fucking lapped intellectually in this conversation. You just told me that the justification for the universe being contingent is analytic. And this is what you fucking told me verbatim. You said, well, everything that exists has an essential property. It relies on its essential property to exist. And therefore, it's analytically true that the universe is contingent. How the fuck does that follow, you stupid fuck? Not only is the universe contingent, not inside of the fucking thing you're trying to explain, you also give no connection. So, you can't even argue it's fucking implied. God, you're such a fucking retard. That's so Jesus Christ, you're so dumb. Next point. You know what a brute contingency is? A brute contingency is some contingency with no explanation. It's really fucking obvious. Yeah, come on. You know all these fucking words mean, dumb fuck. Don't try to lap me when you're losing the debate. So yeah, just please fucking explain yourself for saying this retarded shit. Please explain to me how, because things have an essential property, it concludes, therefore, analytically the case. It's like fucking logically and possibly deniable that the universe is contingent. Dumb fuck.
So notice how this dude comments on me stuttering, even though I'm mimicking him. Like, for example, when he said, "Don't try to lap me, retard." Anyways, the reason why I wanted to clarify what a brute contingency is, because I wanted to see if you were retarded when you said that, idiot. So if you just take a brute contingency to be a contingency in which has no explanation, obviously that's analytically contradictory because all contingencies have explanations under my view. So unless it is just an existence without any explanation, it wouldn't be a contingency. Things in which are contingent have explanations that they can be reduced down to. So obviously, if there exists some object X in which doesn't have anything it can be reduced down to, it wouldn't be a contingency. It would just be a brute existence. Those are two separate things. To exist, you don't have to be contingent. You could just be an uncaused existence, which is completely fine. That doesn't fit under my criteria of God, the divinity. Now, what's the argument as to why the point that I gave initially doesn't follow? There is a connection because obviously to exist, you must have an essential property. I already gave justification for that. If you have an essential property to exist, that means you're reliant on that essential property because without that essential property, you cannot be identified as object Y. Y has an essential property. Without that essential property, it isn't Y. Therefore, Y's existence is dependent upon that essential property, property, divinity. So if everything in which exists has an essential property, that means everything is reliant on this essential property. The universe is something in which exists. Therefore, the universe has an essential property that is contingent upon.
So what's really funny is that Infinity will stutter accidentally, and then to cover it up throughout the end of his speech, continue to stutter as if to make it look like he didn't stutter beforehand. Look, so what you said there was also extremely fucking retarded. You gave me an argument that everything that exists depends on an essential property. You told me that everything that exists has an essential property. That was the motivation you gave. And then you told me that because everything that exists has an essential property, it depends on its essential property in order to exist. You understand that's self-defeating, dumb fuck, because it means that God, if it were to exist, has an essential property which is contingent on. Dumb fuck. That's self-contradictory. Number one. Number two, it doesn't follow from an essential property being a feature of an existing thing that it's contingent on it in the way that you want to talk about it. Because when you talk about causal contingent, or when you talk about contingency, you're talking about causal explanation. You're talking about the explanation for why it's there, which is what we established when I asked you to define creation in the debate, which was, causal explanation. It's there because X, Y, Z happened. So no, that's not fucking true. So I'll again reiterate this fucking point to you super, super simply. Just because something has an essential property, it does not follow from that analytically that somehow it is necessarily contingent. And if it does follow from that analytically, then it would also show that God, being an existing thing, therefore having an essential property, is contingent on said essential property, making it a self-defeating argument.
Yeah, that's the point, retard. Nice. You just pointed out your own concession. So for the proof by contradiction, if we assume the opposite of the position I'm asserting, I want you to give justification for that. And if we do assume my position, you try to give a reductio saying that God would have to be contingent upon his essential property, therefore it's a self-defeating argument. The entire point is God specifically has two properties that I'm arguing for. Both of them are necessary. So if he's contingent upon these two essential properties, then it would exist in all possible worlds, therefore making it a necessity, retard. So unlike God, everything in the universe has an essential property in which isn't necessary, it's non-necessary. However, someone like God has these two properties in which are necessary. Yay! So if his existence is contingent upon these necessary properties, that makes the entity a whole necessary. Nice. So there is no concession at all. There's no reductio. You cannot point out any proof by contradiction. All you did was ramble and stutter during your entire point. Stop stumbling and go back to the actual substance.
Holy fuck, this is one of the worst fucking debates I've ever been in, Jesus Christ. So firstly, it is self-defeating because as you said that if something has an essential property, then it's contingent on said essential property. Now you said something really, really retarded a moment ago to try to correct the stupid shit you said beforehand, which was, well, the essential property of God is necessary, but the essential property of the things in the universe, those are contingent. What's the fucking argument for that? Because if you're just going to move back the contingency step to say that there's some distinct trait about God, which makes it so that it's necessary, but the universe, it has contingent essential properties, whatever the fuck that means, you need to give an argument that all of the essential properties in the universe are contingent, firstly. Secondly, you've completely fucking dropped and failed to explain the fact that contingency doesn't apply to this type of relationship that existence have to their essential properties, dumb fuck. Contingency have to do with causal explanation, not with some kind of, metaphysical composite or your identity. So you're not even fucking tracking the basic thing that I said. It didn't even appear in your speech. So don't fucking dodge this point. I want you to firstly, define the conditions for contingency according to your view. Secondly, explain to me how the essential give me an argument for why the essential characteristics of the universe and the things in the universe, those essential characteristics are contingent essential characteristics as opposed to a necessary characteristic.
Yo, Infinity. Infinity. Hello? So guys, are you guys enjoying the fight? I think Infinity died, guys. But who do you guys think is gonna win, Pereira versus Adesanya right now?
Hello.
Oh, he's back. Never mind.
So just to clarify real quick, Divinity, instead of focusing on the rhetorical tactics that you clearly don't have and you stumble yourself over while giving, maybe you should focus on the substance. Everybody in chat just asked the question, well, why is Divinity losing? I'll tell you why, because he isn't actually tracking. The question that he just gave was, well, what's the condition for a contingent existence? Did I not already give the condition? Biconditionally, you're contingent if and only if you have an explanation for your existence. That's the entire point that I just gave. That's the condition for being contingent. I already laid that out. If you were to apply a proof by contradiction and assume your position, which is that there exists something in which is non-contingent, then it would have to be necessary. If it's necessary, then I would just label that as God, retard. That's the entire point, Divinity. So you giving a proof by contradiction that actually justifies my conclusion instead is only making you look like a failed debater, which you're demonstrating currently. I'll say this again. It's analytically justified that everything in which exists has an essential property. Everything is explained by its essential property, therefore everything is contingent. The distinction between a regular entity who has the essential property of being a seat, for example, like a chair, the essential property of a chair is to have a seat. That is completely distinct from the essential property of God is to be an enabler of all contingent existences. Now, if there exists a contingent existence in all possible worlds, it follows that God must exist in all possible worlds, therefore he's necessary. It does follow and does exist contingent things in all possible worlds. Therefore, what? God would have to follow that he exists in all possible worlds. Divinity, that's the entire point. So God is necessary, although he's contingent upon his existence or his essential property, but his essential properties are what make him necessary comparatively to a regular entity like a chair who's contingent upon a seat. If you were to posit that that seat is something that is necessary, I would just label that seat, quote unquote, as God.
Oh shit.
Wonderful. So the irony, this is the fucking common theme of the debate. It happened literally every speech beforehand. It'll happen literally every speech afterwards. Is that Infinity has no fucking no substantive prowess at all. Okay, all fuck. Oh, actually, that was actually awful. Look, all Infinity is able to do is keep saying all these phrases, all these buzzwords, all these accusations. There's no substance. He's lacking intellectual depth. Let me explain. First thing, again, is he defined in his very last fucking rebuttal that God is what makes everything everything that's contingent is, made necessary by God. Everything contingent is made necessary by God. Infinity then says that if there's something that's necessary in a universe, then it's definitionally God. Hold up, contradiction here, right? If something's necessary in the universe, it doesn't follow that every contingent thing is necessary on that thing. So there's a contradiction. He's willing to accept that there are necessary things in the universe that aren't God because under his definition of God, everything that is contingent is made is the way it is. It's explained by this one necessary fact. He can't fucking establish that. He's yet to give an argument for why all the contingent things in the universe are dependent on this one necessary thing. Not fucking true. Secondly, whenever he gives the conditions to be contingent, it's explained if and only if by something else. God is explained if and only if by his essential characteristics. And you actually have failed to give me the argument that I'm asking for. Explain to me how the essential characteristic of God can be necessary, as opposed to the essential characteristic of a chair being necessary. We're not talking about the existence of the chair. We're not talking about the existence of God. You made this really fucking retarded argument that the essential characteristic of something is what makes it contingent, which is really fucking stupid, one, because you have not explained to me how contingency can apply somehow between the essential characteristic and the object. Haven't fucking done that. You have not done enough fucking work to do that. You've got blown the fuck out through this entire conversation. I'm gonna reiterate all the fucking problems. And I promise you, not all of these things are gonna make it into your speech because you're not fucking listening, you're unable to track, and you're unable to respond. First, it is not analytically the case that the universe is contingent necessarily on one existing thing. You have not drawn that linkage. Your argument, which you used to defend that, was to appeal to something really retarded, which was to say that objects are made contingent by their essential properties. Not fucking true. But even if that's fucking true, what's the difference between the necessity of an essential property in God versus the contingency of the essential property in something in the universe? Jesus Christ, this is such a fucking poor debate. You're doing fucking awfully. What's gonna happen, by the way? What's gonna happen? I guarantee is Infinity's gonna come up here. He's gonna repeat the phrase "proof by contradiction," something like that. Okay, he's gonna you conceded proof by contradiction. You didn't listen to me. Yeah, I did. Address what I said. Address the point. Address the fact that you're unable to explain contingency well enough, and you're unable to somehow draw that it's analytically the case that the universe is necessarily contingent on one existing thing.
Okay, maybe you weren't listening. The chair is an example of something which exists necessarily. Now we're going to apply the predicate of contingency, obviously. So when we're talking about God, if it follows that in every single possible word there exists in a contingent thing, which there does, then I'm saying God is the enabler of that contingent thing because they're contingent upon their essential properties. But the essential property also has an essential property, which goes back, quote unquote, ad infinitum. If that follows, that means there must be a system in which enables these essential properties. I would define that as God. So the argument is, there exists in every single possible word a contingent property. That contingent property has a system of properties. That system of properties would be God. There you go. It's both necessary and it's what enables these contingent existences. That's the entire point. Now, You saying it isn't analytically justified is just you telling me the negation towards my position. What's the argument? Nobody brought up a proof by contradiction during this point, retard. The fuck? All you did was repeat yourself. You didn't give an actual argument that defied what I said. You just don't understand what's going on. The entire point is that there exists in every single possible world a property. A property is contingent upon another property. There must be a system of properties. If there exists a system of properties, I would just define that as God.
Exactly as I fucking foretold. This guy's not gonna address any single fucking thing that I said. And he's also gonna deny the fucking fact that he said something that he fucking already said. He's gonna say that he didn't say proof by contradiction. He tried making some fucking argument that there was a proof by contradiction. Not fucking true. Now this new fucking argument, not only does it not relate to the first thing he said, not only does it not relate to the essential property debate, it's also completely made up and does not fucking justify what he's trying to justify. This absolute fucking moron. He's gonna tell me that everything in the universe has some property. And that it has this set of contingent properties, exists in every possible world. And in every possible world, there's some system of contingent properties. The problem is that this definition, this argument, allows for the possibility of an infinite regression of contingent things, which he would therefore define as a necessarily existing entity, which contradicts every fucking definition this guy's given you for God in the entire fucking debate. This guy's so fucking lost. He has no idea what he's arguing for. He can't stick to a fucking argument. So what's gonna happen is he's gonna go up in his next speech, and I want him to fucking finally commit to one fucking good argument, and give me the justification for any of the premises of that argument. Fuck, this guy's losing so bad.
Yeah, maybe you're retarded or something. The entire point is the set of that infinite series of contingent things is God, retard. The set of that entire contingent thing, the totality of all contingent things, is what we label as God. It follows in every single possible world that a contingent thing exists. Therefore, in every single possible world, God exists. One, the enabler of all contingent existences, and two, a necessary being. Yay! I've analytically justified that God has existed in virtue of what it takes for you to exist, which is your essential property. I'll repeat the argument because maybe you weren't listening the first 3 times I repeated it, retard. I'm going to say there exists in every single possible world an entity in which is reliant on their essential property, meaning a contingent entity exists. Analytically, this has to be true. The essential property is going to be reliant on another essential property, which creates a system of essential properties being reliant on other essential properties. That totality of all contingent things is what we define as God, because that totality cannot be contingent itself. Yay, you've been backed into the corner of the argument. That's the entire point.
All right, so let's go and move to closing. This is the hardest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. So the original proposition is God exists. He defined God existing as a necessary entity that created the universe. We've now gotten 3 fucking definitions of the word God. Firstly, God is a necessarily existing entity. Secondly, God is an infinite series of contingent things. And thirdly, God created the universe and enables contingent things. Well, here's a fucking problem with that, you stupid fuck, is that if God is the infinite series of contingent things in the universe, then the universe doesn't have a fucking cause, right? There's not something causally independent of the universe, i.e. God, a necessarily existing being that creates the universe. You're so fucking lost. You do not know what you're arguing for. So, look, we can just go and move to fucking closing. It's obvious you got blown the fuck out of this conversation. You haven't stuck to a fucking good argument. The argument that you chose happened to be the worst fucking argument you could have gone for. Jesus Christ. Yeah, let's just move to closing.
Yet maybe you weren't listening. The totality, which is the set, is the cause of the universe itself. So if everything is contingent and it goes back infinitely, then you have to say that there is a set in which contains this infinite series. If you say there's a set in which contains this infinite series, since the set can't contain itself, that would be a contradiction and it would have to be necessary. If it's necessary and it instantiates all these entities within it, that would have to be God. I did not change my definition 3 times. You can't even list the 3 definitions of God that I gave and which are conflicting with each other. Just because I reworded it so a retard like you can understand this basic ass argument doesn't mean that it's changed definitions. The meaning is still the same, meaning the definition is still the same, but the wording is different because I have to rephrase it for a retard like you and goons to understand, babe.
All right, so are we doing closing now? Is that fine? Saka?
I mean, if Infinity agrees to that, Infinity.
I mean, does Infinity want to?
We can close on this specific point, yes.
Fine. Okay. Look, so.
Yeah. All right, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I mean, actually, no, Infinity, you were off. You can go first. Unless you want to treat that as your closing, but you can go first.
No, you can go first.
You want
also, chat, type 1 if you want to Skype a sportsbook to bet on debates. All right, yeah, continue. Divinity, you can go ahead.
I'll go first. Yeah, look, so don't let fucking Infinity distort what happened. What happened was that Infinity said at the very beginning that there is a necessarily existing entity that explains the existence of the universe, which is a set of contingent entities. Now, the problem here is that he gave a multitude of fucking arguments to justify that, all of which were terrible. The first argument, it's somehow being analytically the case that the universe was entirely contingent. No fucking argument for that. The appeal to the essential property is making something contingent. Number one, doesn't make fucking sense. That's not what contingency is. And number two, there's no fucking argument for that. The new definition of God is that God is an infinite series of contingent things, which of course is contradictory to the idea that there is this existing, independent, necessary thing that explains the set of contingent things, because that's what creation denotes. It denotes an independent thing, creating things that are dependent. If you think God and the contingent series are one and the same, then you're contradicting the original assertion. There's no amount of fucking explaining you can do to get out of the fact that you contradicted yourself. It's the case that you don't know what the fuck you're arguing for. And I got backed into a rhetorical corner because the other points you made were dumb as fuck and you didn't think I would point it out. Look, there's not been sufficient evidence to say that the universe is, entirely contingent on one thing. There's no fucking argument for that. The analysis of contingency is insufficient to say that's analytically necessary. And this new fucking argument about, a system of infinitely contingent things, that contradicts the idea that there is a necessary entity that creates the existence of an infinite series of contingent things. That's contradictory. The two things necessarily have to be separate.
Alrighty. Infinity.
Yeah, maybe you weren't listening. Each definition of God that I gave, like I said, was rephrased and still had the same meaning. So the original definition, just for everybody in chat to hear, was a necessary being who enabled or created all contingent existences. If I say that God is defined as the set in which is necessary and holds and enables all these contingent existences that go infinitely back, that still is in line with my definition of God, which is the necessary being who created and enabled all these contingent existences. There's no confliction or contradiction when it comes to these two definitions. The same as there's no contradiction with the third definition that he proposed, although I never gave that definition. Now, correct. Within debates, you give multiple arguments. Yes, I gave an argument, and then for one of the premises, I gave justification for that premise, which led to another argument. Yay, he was able to assess that. Very basic. I would hope that if he puts a question or puts into question one of the premises, I would give justification towards that premise, which I did. Now, the argument for the universe. I said to exist analytically, you must require an essential property. He didn't contend that. Now, if you require an essential property, that means that your existence is explained by that essential property. Nice. Just because you exist and you're a creation doesn't mean that you don't have an explanation. You being dependent, as in being connected to someone, being transitive when it comes to identity, does not entail at all the same scenario where you just have an explanation. They are your explanation. So you're explained by your essential property or you're explained by God. Those aren't conflicting. Those aren't a connection when it comes to creation. I'm not saying you're created by your essential property. I'm saying you're explained by your essential property. So you're contingent. I'm saying you're created by the set, which is God. The argument was that there exists in every single possible world a contingent existence, meaning if there exists in every single possible world a contingent existence, which he didn't contend at all, by the way, he gave no contention towards that. That means that there's a contingent existence which is relying on their essential property, and that essential property is relying on another essential property, which creates a system of essential properties, which I will label as God. If he says that goes infinitely back, that system cannot be contingent itself because then it would contain itself, therefore it would have to be necessary, and it's still enabling these contingent existences, therefore it would be God. He didn't contend anything with God creating an infinite series of contingent existences. So the universe would still be created by God. And that's the entire point. Yay, thank you. We're done.
All right. So chat, everyone go to announcements and vote on who won this point. And then for the odds, Infinity's plus 150 to win this point. Divinity's minus 120 to win this point. Spam 1 for Divinity, 2 for Infinity, bro. Shit, bro. I'm seeing a lot of fucking 2s, bro. Wait, chill. If you have perms, type in announcements. Don't type in announcements for now. Holy shit. Oh my god. Okay, if you put your money on Divinity, if you put your money on Divinity, you made a lot of money.
Yeah, so look, let's just, next time you debate Infinity, let's make sure we don't say that I'm arguing for the creation of the universe and at the fucking very last moment say you're not.
I never said I was arguing for the creation
Just
of the universe.
wait, 1 second. Just to clarify, it's not real money. If Discord is seeing this, it's not real money.
Just to clarify, I never said I was arguing for the creation of the universe. I said I was arguing for all things in which exist. I'm arguing for all things in which exist contingently. I never said I was arguing for the creation of the universe.
You're explaining that to yourself. People in chat don't believe you.
Yeah, I'm explaining it to the chat, retard. There's a recording. I never said the creation of the universe.
Well, the
You
chat
brought
doesn't
up the
fucking believe
universe.
you, retard. If you look at the
That's
polls,
fine.
no
The
one
chat
believes
doesn't
you.
have to believe me. That's fine. The fuck? I don't
Yes,
care
not
about
only
polls
do
and
not only
goons
do all
in
the
chat.
intelligent people here not
Yeah,
believe you,
Divinity,
you don't
that's
believe
what
yourself.
happens.
This is why
That's
you're
what
explaining it
happens
to
when
yourself.
goons is in chat. They dick right goons. If he is biased against me, obviously they're gonna vote on you. The fuck?
Right. So the reason why you lost was not because you're a worse debater, not because you don't know what
Oh
the fuck
no,
you're
I
talking
didn't
about. It's
lose. I
because
didn't
somebody
lose.
doesn't
The
like you
reason
and
why
people
people
like
voted
him.
on
God,
polls is
this is
because
so fucking
goons is in
stupid.
chat. Correct.
You got blown the fuck out and you're unable
The
to accept
reason
that
why
because you have
people
a low
voted on you on
self-esteem.
polls is because
Okay,
goons is in
you're
chat and they
coping.
dick right on you.
You're
Yes,
coping right
correct.
now. You're coping because you
Why would
lost
I
the debate.
cope if I
Really,
beat you?
really
Wait,
obvious.
hey, wait, hold on. The poll is getting closer. Infinity just made up 13 votes in like 2 minutes. Just saying.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
hey,
hold on.
are y'all moving on to another point, or what's
Hold
going
on.
on?
Hold on. Hold
Well, if he wants to.
on. Give me a second.
But yeah, guys, hypothetically, if we made a Sky PS Sportsbook where we'd bet OO cash, not real cash, obviously, if Discord's listening, but like, would y'all fuck with that? Like, I don't really know. Like, I feel like that could be like cold.
Hold on.
Oh, Echo. By the way, I've been on that. You can't ask. What's his name? I've been talking to 1PK about that and fucking Holly about that for a minute, but I'm pretty sure it's fucking termable as fuck. That's why I haven't done it. So what are we doing?
Give me a second. I'm doing something.
Depends on how, dialectically masochistic Infinity is feeling. If he wants to have another debate, we can. We said don't make me
Exactly, Goofy. Like niggas is not even staged voting on Divinity because Goon said that Divinity biasly.
You think that if you took like 1 or 2 votes away, that you'd win the debate?
No, I think that if we took goons away from the presence of the debate, then I would have won the polls. Like,
It's
no
just
different.
obvious you're a sore loser, bro. This is negative order.
I'm
for you.
not a sore
Just
loser.
take
I
your
can
L.
just tell
Take
when
your L
people
like a
are
champ.
biased.
Just take your
No,
L like
this
a champ.
happens
Right?
every single time goons is in stage or VC.
You're crying right now.
They dick right
You're
there.
crying because you lost
I'm
the
not
debate.
crying. I'm speaking calmly.
You're crying. No, you're
No.
crying, bro.
No, why would I cry if I make more money than you? The fuck?
Damn,
Anyway.
are we going ban for ban now? We all should go ban for ban.
How about we make more votes in the chat for the debate you just lost?
Yo, chat spam one if they should go ban for ban.
Wait. Did he just compare
Chat
vote and
spam one if they should go ban for ban.
Did he just compare? Hold on. Did you just compare votes in chat to money?
For bans
Did
because
you
you
just
lost the debate,
hold on?
bro.
Did you just compare votes in chat to
Oh,
money?
Jesus
Are you
Christ.
retarded?
Hey, bro,
Are
the
you
people
so
speaking Divinity. I don't know, man.
Okay. Yeah, let's go. Hold on. Bet. I'll just do the same shit I did against Aram. Hold on. You just compare votes in chat for a debate that there's a biased person in chat for that people
I'm just
dick
saying
ride.
it's obvious.
to
It's
a
obvious
ban
you're a
for
sore
ban.
loser, bro. You're crying right now because
But,
you lost the debate.
I'm a sore loser who makes more money than you, though. Hold on. Anyways,
I don't know how much
let's
money you
go.
think you make, but look,
I know how
you
much
can
money
try.
I
You
do
can
make,
try.
though.
You could try appealing to the bans, but
That is the money, buddy. Do you want to send some money in chat, boy?
you're trying to get rhetorical because you
Hello.
lost. You lost the
Anyways,
debate.
look at chat. That's just my savings, by the way. That's just
Maybe
that's
put a
just a
couple.
random.
Put
That's
a
just
couple
my
of bans
burner
on
account.
yourself
That's
next
just
time.
my
Oh
burner account.
shit!
That's my burner account.
Oh
That's just
shit!
my
Oh
burner account.
shit!
That's just my burner account. Oh,
Right.
come on. Where's the money at? Hello.
So
I'm a sore loser who makes more money than you. Come on. Where'd you at?
Or we're
Oh
not.
no, you got more votes than me. Oh
Wait,
no, you're
wait,
richer
wait,
than me
wait.
because you got
Hold
more
on,
votes than me.
wait. Your
No,
fucking
you
saving
got more
account is
votes than me.
$2,000.
Where you listing? That's my burner. That is a burner account. I
Your
can send more money
burner
after
account?
you up to. Yes, I have burners
Your
accounts. I can
burner.
send more money after you up 2K. Up
Your
2K, and I'll
burner.
send more money. Up 2K,
All right,
and
so
I'll send more
let's
money.
keep track, chat. So
I'll make a
currently,
promise. Hold on, look. I'll make a promise. Wait, sucker. I'll make a promise.
Well,
Okay?
I don't really care about
If
a
you can
promise.
beat
Look,
me,
your
if you
promise
can
is gonna be related to the baby.
Oh, you're
Can you
over
send some
talking.
money?
You're so desperate to look better because you
No, I
lost.
just want you to send money real quick. Can you send money?
I'll go
Or are
ban
you
for
just
ban with
not?
you if you
Are
can
you
beat
not
me in a
capable of
debate.
doing that?
I'll tell you that. I'll go ban for ban when
Oh
you can beat me in a debate.
no! Comparing debating is money. Yo, Detroit, maybe you're retarded, but the entire point
I'll
of a
say I'll
ban for
go
ban is
ban for
supposed to.
ban when I beat you in a debate.
Hold on. Wait, Divinity, like no troll shit. Hold on, real quick. Detroit, the entire point of a ban for ban is supposed to up the price every single round. Retard. So
wait,
obviously,
hold on. Yeah, wait, hold on. Yo, Detroyer, if that's not a lot of money, you want to come up here and like
Yeah,
show
Detroit,
more
why
bands
don't
than
you come up?
Infinity?
Hey,
You want
Detroit,
to
why
show
don't
more
you come
bands
up?
than Infinity, Detroit? I'll invite you
Hey,
up.
Detroit, why don't you come up, boy?
Yo, Detroit, you got the invite to come up, bro.
Come on, Detroit. You want to talk shit, right? You don't know how that ban for bail works. You're supposed to up the money every single round, retard. That's why you start off low, retard. That fee low knowledge isn't going to make you money, retard.
I have a lot more, but I'm not doing this shit, lol.
Another haram. I have 60K in my bank, but I don't feel like getting it. Shut the fuck up, bitch. He was. Divinity, can you show some money?
When you beat me in a debate, bro.
If you can't, that's fine. I know you do. I know you're broke. All you do is Discord debate. You know what? I'll do the same shit against haram. I'll show deodorant and $20. Can you up this? Can you up this? Hey, look at general chat real quick. Can you look at general chat? Look at general chat real quick. Can you up this? 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 Hello, Divinity. Oh no, you can't flex goons pose against me. Oh no, no. Do you have more money? You have more money?
You're looking good, dude.
Oh no, you don't. Okay, you don't. Okay, that's fine.
You're looking good. You're looking good.
I know.
Hey, so like, did you want to step back in the
You're trying to flex a
ring
poll. You're trying to flex a poll that you only won so far because goons did it.
It's not about the poll. It's
You
because I
just
beat
tried
you.
to.
I was here.
No,
No
you
appeal to
didn't
the
beat
poll.
me.
You got
You
blown
didn't
out.
beat me.
No appeal to
didn't
the
beat
poll. You
me.
got blown out in the conversation.
Nope, Divinity. You only win that poll because goons is in chat. and
Sorry.
people dick run 'em.
You're concerned with the poll because you have low self-esteem. I beat you in the debate.
No,
Whether the
you
poll is good, I
mentioned
beat
the
you or not is
poll.
irrelevant.
Sakazuki, did he not just compare the poll
That's
to my
because
money?
you have low self-esteem, and now
did.
you're appealing to someone else
You
because you're crying.
compared the poll to my money.
Because it bothers you. It strikes a nerve because you have a low
I don't know what you're
self-esteem.
saying.
You have a low self-esteem, which is why you appeal to the polls. Look, if you
I don't know what that means.
cared about the polls, you should try winning. You should try looking better. Let me give you a tip. If you wanted to win the polls because it's important to you,
Wait,
because
Divinity,
you
Divinity.
get your
Do
sense
you
of
think
confidence
that?
from it,
Hold on,
you need to
Divinity.
win the
Do you
debate.
think?
You need
Hold
to
on,
win the debate.
Divinity.
You need to make better
Divinity.
points. You need to be more
Divinity.
dialectically precise.
Divinity.
You
Do
need to
you
not
still
dodge the
think that
question.
poll is going to
You
be the
make nothing
same
retarded
tomorrow?
arguments.
Hey, Divinity.
So
Do you
look,
think that poll is going to remain
why
the
don't we
same
go
tomorrow?
ahead? Look, why don't we
Wait,
go ahead and
Divinity.
focus
Do you
on
think
upping our
that poll
debate
is going to remain
strategy?
the same?
Why don't we focusing on upping our rhetoric, upping our substance?
Wait, Divinity. Do you think you're going to still be winning that
You're
poll by tomorrow?
coping so hard right
Wait,
now,
Divinity.
bro.
I'm asking a question. Do you think you're going to still be winning that poll by tomorrow? Do you know who Infinity is? Hello?
I know that I beat you in a
Hello?
debate. I don't know who you are. I actually really don't know who
Wait,
you are.
do you think that poll is still going to be won on near end by tomorrow? Do you think that? Oh, okay.
Wait, sorry,
You don't have an answer to the
I'm looking
question.
at this cash
Okay.
app from Mercury. My fault. Sorry, what
What
did you say?
$1.72. Oh wow.
Look at Apple Pay is crazy. Wait, so I'm just supposed to believe that the reason you lost so poorly in the polls is because there's a person in the chat who doesn't like you?
So does this mean
There's a
Goons
person-
has
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
aura?
exactly.
If
Yes,
he's
yes,
influencing
yes,
polls
correct.
like this? Damn, Goons
Yes,
has aura.
people dick
Oh,
ride him.
shit.
Yes, people dick ride him. The same as if Archie came in chat and was repping me,
So
I would have got
Goons,
more
Goons
votes.
and Archie have
Wait,
aura.
I just want to
Okay.
wait. I'm supposed to believe that the reason
Wait,
you're
that's
losing is
fine.
because
You can
Goons
believe
has
whatever you
aura,
want. You
and
have
he has
retarded beliefs. I
more
can believe
aura
that.
than you. But you also think that the
Goons?
reason you'll be up in the polls tomorrow is because quote I'm Infinity. Do you know who I am? You're such a retard.
Yep,
You can't
correct.
even consistently make a fucking point about how you're losing in the polls.
I just gave a consistent point as to why I'm losing in the poll, quote
God, you're
unquote.
such a retard. You don't. Jesus.
Well,
Christ.
obviously you believe I'm a retard. You just lost to me, so you're gonna insult me for rhetorical
By what
episodes.
standard, bro?
Guys, I'll go
By
parlay
my
for
standard.
parlay with somebody.
The best judgment is Infinity's judgment, and I say that you lost to me.
Wow, that's beautiful.
I know. Thanks.
All right, so are we continuing or y'all just done? Like we ended it here?
It depends on if
can end
Infinity
it
wants to. How dialectic? Fuck, my fault.
What?
Oh,
Nah,
man.
Logic. What the fuck does that mean, you stupid bitch? What the fuck? Nigga chatting.
My fault.
Anyways, damn. I'm gonna let that slide for now. Damn.
It's okay. You'll live with your loss, and
Yo,
you'll come back and
come on, I'm
defend
not
another
letting
day.
that slide now.